was a dark and rainy night. I remember thinking to myself, how long will it take until they kick me out of West Tower? I have no money and no work. Not many people need a private eye anymore. As the rain kept hitting my window, a figure came to the door. Knock, knock, knock.
Come in.
I knew it was trouble, but I knew it was work, so I let him in. It was an old friend of mine, Johnny Paps. He looked in a panic, the kind that grabs your throat and doesn't let go, the kind that you lose sleep over. He sat down and had the look of a desperate man. I asked him what his troubles were. Big mistake. Tat, tat, tat. The rain kept coming down. He told me about his briefcase. A lost briefcase? I chuckled and took a sip from my flask. That's small-time stuff. But then there's the clincher. His bag contained his only valuable possession. It contained a book. A book of all the mobs, all the cops, all the lowlifes and highlifes. It had numbers, addresses, bank accounts, social calendars, everything. Johnny was no ordinary man. He worked for the NYPD, but was undercover, working as a bookie for one of the cartels. That's why he came to me. He knew I wouldn't rat him out, and he knew I was the only one who would help him without blowing his brain out with a steel magnum. If the cartel knew he lost this, he'd be dead before he could pray on his knees. If the station knew, he'd be fired in an instant. He knew I'd help him, and he was right.
I need your help. If the station finds out, I'll be fired. If the cartel finds out, I'll be dead. I need your help, Rick. I don't know where else to turn. There are not a lot of people you can trust in this world, you know? I think I can trust you. I can't just walk out of here and forget it happened, or else I'll be in big trouble, Rick. Thanks, Rick. I needed that.
How much?
$1,000 after you get it.
Okay. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna lay low for a while. I'll find the book and get it back for you.
But I'm gonna need some information.
Whatever you want, Rick.
When did you last have the book?
I was over at the Classy Cat. I had it with me when I came in, but it was gone when I left.
Did you recognize anyone there?
Well, Jenkins was there as his crew, so was Lombardo and the Delmonicos.
No one out of the ordinary. I'll ask them and see what they say.
Oh, there was this one new girl that was there. What was her name? It was Valerie White. Yeah, I never saw her before, man. She was there.
A new girl, eh? Did you meet her?
Well, I spoke to her for like a second or two, you know.
In the middle of the dance floor?
Yeah.
I knew he was lying. He probably took her in the back room and she screamed some dirty nothings into his ear. But I wasn't going to call him out. He had his business and I had mine. Still, if they went into a back room, he probably brought his briefcase with him. It wouldn't be a bad idea to question. Lay low. I'll take care of you.
I owe you one, O'Connor.
Yeah, you owe me all right. $1,000 once I find the book. As the stench of sex and beer crept up into my nostrils, she came out on the stage. She was like an angel among men, a glowing light of hope in the dark and filthy city of deceit. Could she have really taken the book? Snap out of it, O'Connor. You know damn well there's got to be trouble with a good-looking broad like her.
What do you know about Johnny Paps?
She froze. Only for a second. And 1 second was all it took to know the truth. She knew something.
And why would a handsome man like you want to ask little old me questions I don't know the answers to?
He was in here last night. What do you know about him?
Mr.
O'Connor. Rick O'Connor.
Right. Mr. O'Connor, I can assure you that I don't know a thing about any of my clients that come in here. As a matter of fact, it's hard to keep track of things like that.
Keep lying to me. We'll see where it gets you.
Mr. O'Connor, if you don't let go of me in the next 5 seconds, that camera up there will tell 2 very large men to come down and kick you out. Then you'll never get your answers. Johnny Paps, huh? Yeah, I remember. Jumpy fellow, right?
Right.
What do you want to know?
When he came in here, he had a briefcase. When he left, he didn't. Where's the briefcase?
Have you checked the lost and found?
Listen, lady, I'm in no mood for games.
No, you listen, Mr. O'Connor. No one comes into my private room and demands questions from me. And besides, you're not a very good private detective, or else you wouldn't have been so stupid.
I've been doing this for years. What are you talking?
Then it hit me like a brick.
You lousy broad.
Next thing I knew, the floor was coming at me like a semi-truck without brakes. Bam!
Amateur.
I hit the floor. I hit it hard. As my eyes closed for what could have been the last time, I only remember seeing one thing.